The Honourable Member for Bulolo.
Deputy Speaker, before me starting, tok lomi bilag tokim you also, you papa Lucia. So time you talk osem man no can bokin point of order, okay, you must benim sa tok. You no can entertain him. You papa laos mi ba submit lo. You know you ba submit lo mi pla. So you sanab lo talk lo. Obek lo grievance debate lo mi. Mr. Acting Deputy Speaker, laws must be enforced for security of land tenure and attracting domestic and foreign investment. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I wish to commend the Minister for Lands and Physical Planning for taking on the challenge to work with the Minister for Housing and Urbanization and other provincial government and DDA. This will ensure the development of proper planned residential areas in Papua New Guinea to cater for accommodation needs for our people. Also, there must be visible and easy to do steps, encourage domestic and foreign investment in the country. Mr. Deputy Speaker, we have a big challenge, and that is for proper planned developments rather than moving one group of people from a planned or squatter area settlement to a new location without any amenities and public facilities. I was referring to the people moved from Paga Hill and other locations in NCD to Dogura and back of Gerehu Stage 6 or to Laloki, and the same in other towns and stations. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I have great challenge in Bulolo where I need to properly settle more than 2,000 people. These are descendants of people brought from around Papua New Guinea, in the 1920s to 1940s to work on the goldfields and forestry plantation as laborers. These are people. They are people of Bulolo and Papua New Guinea. I'm all citizen, Bamibla. In 2009, there was ethnic conflict between our local Morobe people and those brought in. They had their homes and properties totally destroyed, Mr. Acting Speaker, Deputy Speaker. The late MP Sam Basil organized their repatriation to the ancestral provinces. They returned back as it was difficult to connect to places they had only. Also, Harim Tasol, but almost a staplem. Mr. Deputy Speaker, land was bought at Arab Lolei, and they were settled. Unfortunately, they left and returned back to Bulolo again. They are living in a makeshift structures. And one can do all got a place, Mr. Deputy Speaker. You man, you lose in place, you come stop up after generation, you come a bus place. All man no place no sawali. My DDA has approached the Ministry and Department of Provincial Affairs for assistance and technical advice. We have already communicated our DDA resolution to the Ministry and Department of Lands and Minister for Housing to undertake proper physical planning and urban development for Bulolo. The Prime Minister and Governor of Morobet, late Lutawenge, with former Governor Ginson Saunu, now Naraplakam Baksaitlem, has made a commitment to people affected to be relocated, but to where? All Bagolowe. Because experience shows that we need to resettle them properly, considering long-term education and employment and income capacity within a properly planned area. We need to connect water, sewage, sanitation, electricity, telephones, and roads. They need to build homes and also engage in income-earning activities or direct employment. The National Housing Corporation will need to develop it under one of its schemes, such as self-help or buyout scheme. So houses are built or given blocks to build own houses. We don't want to see another settlement popping up everywhere. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the government has established a loan scheme with commercial banks with housing loans going at 400,000 kina. How do we assist our people who cannot afford even a 10,000 kina at present? The issue raised is whether the Department of Lands is making land available so that the cost of land comes down so that people can afford, even without the government loan scheme. Our public servants cannot afford, and it is difficult. Mr. Deputy Speaker, we have the Okuk Highway, Leh Najab upgrade, and the people are just rebuilding or moving back. Further, we will still have unplanned housing from 1 to 5 mile in Leh. The same is happening in NCD. So my call is for proper plan and service and titled allotments. If the department is working on that, we would want to know where and how many title allotments are already put on tender. I am also critical of our own Wow and Bulolo towns. That is a nightmare. It is the oldest towns, and most departments and agencies all abandoning sila town na plus na oligopolies. We need the Department of Lands and NHC or National Housing Corporation to identify all state land that is available for leasing and start putting public tenders. Any illegal occupants must be asked to vacate so that we can have planned and orderly development. Mr. Acting Speaker, we will need a DDA and LLG and state utilities providers such as Department of Works, PNG Power, Water PNG, and Telecom to connect roads, power, water, and sewage lines. We need to remove our focus from Port Moresby and Leh and move to other urban areas or centers. Many middle and low-income earners throughout Papua New Guinea want to see houses built for sale or leased to them by National Housing Corporation. We need National Housing Corporation to build houses throughout the 22 provinces, including towns like Wikila, Kainantu, Mins, Bans, Wau, Lahame, Como, Okapa, Finchafen, so that we retain public servants and private sector to expand their services to these locations. We must talk with customary landowners to utilize land for housing purposes without them losing their land. They must collect rent whilst the state protects their land. This must be done right across the country, Mr. Deputy Speaker. We also need the people to be accommodated, and business can thrive and public servants deliver services to the people. While we need to free up state land and customary land, there is lack of law enforcement and proportion of state land by the Department of Lands. We are having so many complaints on abuse of process, land given to cronies and families. There is even outright fraud going on in our public service. Mr. Acting Deputy Speaker, I want the Minister for Police and Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Lands to take note of my concerns on abuse of land and land fraud. There are many small Papua New Guineans that are falling victims to corruption and fraud involving public servants. Let me be clear that we have the majority of dedicated public servants, but a few or minority that are trying to cripple this country. Our lack of attention and action is a major issue that is promoting this bad behavior, Mr. Acting Speaker, Deputy Speaker. The Public Accounts Committee, during Sir John Hickey days, branded that the corrupt departments was the Department of Lands and the National Housing Corporation. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I am concerned that many questions and issues related to corruption and fraud and official corruption and conspiracy that has happened, and it seems to be still in place. Many actions have been taken to protect legitimate leaseholders, and no actions are taken to date. I have issues that relates to public facilities and land that were illegally transferred or stolen from the public. For example, in Morobe, we have the Amelia Earhart Park near Old Airport that was taken away. In Medang, a public bus stop was given to private individuals. We also hear complaints of Kone Tigers clubland in NCD given away to private individuals. We also hear of land and assets of the Highlands Farmers and Settlers Association in Bans, Goroka, and Dumpu that Department of Lands is involved in irregularities. We hear that many letters and follow-up has been made to the ministers and secretaries back in the day for lands and police commissioners since 2015 to 2025. I'm not action ni come up, Mr. Deputy Speaker. We hear the Farmers Association file a complaint with the Police and Ombudsman Commission on the 25th July 2015 against the Registrar of Titles, Minister and Secretary for Lands and Physical Planning in relation to land called Vans Club and Goroka Showground.
Honorable Member for Bulolo, we have a point of order. Deputy Opposition Leader, what's your point of order?
Just going to inform that his grievance debate time has lapsed.
Honorable Deputy Opposition Leader, the Speaker is looking at the time. And it will be the Speaker who stops. So, Honorable Member, your time has lapsed. I would not allow. If you have a written statement, you can send it for the handset